All right. Hello, everyone. We are back. Um, kind of going through the Medicare made simple, try to make it easier for everybody. We understand it is a very, if you're new to it, it's a very strenuous, it could be a stressful process. So we try to make it as easy for you and give you as much information as we can, and hopefully it will help you. So last time we talked about kind of just the basics of Medicare and what that entails and how that looks. And now we're going to transition into the original Medicare cost, which you'll need to understand of what you're going to have to pay as far as out of pocket and so forth. So Part A of Medicare cost in 2026. Of course, 2027 is a whole new year, but as far as this year, your monthly premium for Part A is $0 for most people. The Part A deductible was $17.36 per benefit period. And then it kind of goes through the hospital days there. Hospital days 1 through 60, Part A, it's $0. Then you get into the hospital days 61 through 90, and it's $434 per day. And then you get into hospital days 91 through 150, and is $868 per day. So obviously the hospital stays, and of course anything after 150 is 100%. So obviously the hospital days are a big expense, something that needs to be covered with something else, which we'll get into of what those are. And then it goes on skilled nursing facilities, kind of gives you the days there. 1 through 20, it's covered, but then your days 21 through 100 is $217 per day. And then after days, or after the 100th day, it's 100% you'll pay out of pocket. So obviously there's some large costs there. Part B cost in 2026, your monthly premium is $202.90. We usually just say 203 just to round up. Part B deductible is $283 per year, and then the Medicare pays after deductible 80%, and then the 20% is what you pay. Now, this is why this is important, because obviously Medicare pays 80%, but that 20% is not capped. It says after the $283 Part B deductible, Medicare covers 80% of the approved cost. The remaining 20% has no annual cap. This is the gap a Medicare supplement is designed to fill. Anything without a cap, obviously you could pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars out of pocket. Which obviously you do not want to do that. So let's get into the next slide. Next slide goes through the IRMA. This affects your Part B premium. Basically, the more money you make, the higher your premium is. So you can go through this chart yourself, kind of pause the video and look. I'm not going to go through every one of these numbers, but usually if you look at the joint, that's someone that's married, files jointly. The 218,000 or less, their Part B premium is $202. That's how much money they make in the calendar year, 218,000 or less. Part B premium is $202.90. And then obviously from there it goes up. So, once it goes up from 218 to 274, it goes up to 284 for the premium for your annual Part B premium. So you can kind of find yourself on this list, and this kind of give you a guide for 2026 year of what the Part B premium will be. So on to the next one, your Medicare options. So you've got two paths that you can take. Path number 1, Part A, hospital. Part B, medical. Medicare supplement fills the gaps, the 80-20, it fills the 20% gaps. And then your Part D is your prescription drug plan. Your path number 2 is Medicare Advantage side. So you've got Medicare Advantage, which is Part C, we talked about last week. Then you've got includes Medicare A and B. Those are combined. And then usually a Part D is involved there. That's your drug plan. And then extra benefits also are usually included with a Medicare Advantage plan. That's your dental and vision. So let's talk about those. First one, Medicare supplement plans. What is a Medicare supplement? Unlike original Medicare, a Medicare supplement plan is funded by individual policies offered through private insurance companies. What this covers, so when you get a Medicare supplement plan, basically you pay monthly for your Medicare supplement, and it covers the co-insurance, which is the 20%, yearly deductibles, and co-payments. And we're going to kind of go through these. So Medicare supplement covers original Medicare cost. So Part A deductible without a supplement, you would have to pay $1,736 out of pocket for your Part A deductible. If you have a Plan G supplement, which we'll get into the different plans in just a few minutes, Plan G is probably the most popular plan as far as Medicare supplements go, but we'll get into those in just a second. Hospital stays 61 through 90. If you did not have a Medicare supplement, didn't have anything to cover that, hospital days 61 through 90, you would pay $434 per day if you were in the hospital for that long. If you have a Plan G supplement, you would pay $0. Skilled nursing facilities, kind of the same thing there. It's days 21 through 100, $217 per day if you don't have a supplement. If you do have a supplement, you would pay $0. Part B, 20% co-insurance. You would have to pay 20% out of pocket. Remember, that is not capped. So if you've got a $400,000 bill, you would have to pay 20% of that out of pocket. If you have a Plan G supplement, $0. And then your Part B deductible, $283 out of pocket. That's annually. That's one time per year, which is not a lot. And then if you have a supplement, it varies by plan. Normally, that is hard to get out of. $283 is usually the only expense that if you had a Plan G supplement that you would have to spend. But there is a plan out there. If you turned 65 before 2020, you would have the option to get a Plan F. They don't offer those to new Medicare clients, but if you are older and you qualify for that, you turn 65 before 2020, you would qualify for a Plan F, and Plan F would cover that $283 deductible. So next one, this is a list of the plans. The most common plans are Plan G and Plan N. And these kind of go through what they would cover. I'm not going to read all these, but at the same time, the biggest thing you need to understand is Plan G basically covers everything except for the Part B deductible. Plan N does the same thing. The only thing with Plan N, there's a few copays that are involved with Plan N that are not involved with Plan G. But Plan N, generally speaking, a lot of times is a little bit more affordable or less expensive as a Plan G, just depending on your situation. So next slide is Medicare supplement enrollment periods. This is important. So starts the month your Medicare Part B effective date begins. Last 6 months, you're guaranteed issue regardless of health status. This is your best window to enroll. So here's the thing. I'm going to give you an example. So my uncle, he turned 65 in September. He has the option to enroll in a Medicare supplement 3 months before his birthday, the month of his birthday, and 3 months after his birthday. The thing with that is he is guaranteed issue, meaning he does not have to medically qualify to get his Medicare supplement. He can get the best Medicare supplement there is at the best price. He knows exactly what he's going to pay every month. And if something were to happen, he understands that the $283 Part B deductible is the only thing he's going to have to pay if something were to happen to him outside of what he pays for his supplement per month. So he is capable, or he's able to budget a whole lot better with that as opposed to some other things out there. So that's an important window. That's the guaranteed issue is the biggest part because he doesn't have to medically qualify. There's not anything he could have that would scare away a company because they are required to enroll him in that. So special enrollment period, triggered by a qualifying life event, you're losing employer coverage, moving, etc. Basically, a lot of times we see that people are retiring. They've worked till age 68, and now it's time. Hey, I'm retiring. I need to get my Medicare supplement, and then obviously this would be your special enrollment period. So it says you have guaranteed issue right. Note, not all plans are guaranteed issue under special enrollment, but a lot of times they are. So in most cases, being being a guaranteed issue is very important, and special enrollment periods offer that as long as you've had credible coverage with your employer and that kind of thing. Outside enrollment period, you must pass medical underwriting. Let me give you an example. So there is no guaranteed issue. Let's just say that someone has, let's just say, Miss Miss Agnew has gotten a Medicare Advantage plan. She does not like it. She wants to get a Medicare supplement, and she's had the Medicare Advantage plan for 3 years. She wants a supplement now because she thinks that will better suit her. The problem with that now is she's outside of the guaranteed issue period. So she can shop that. She can shop, and she can try to get a Medicare supplement at any point. But because she's outside an enrollment period, she has to medically qualify. So she would, not only would she have to answer questions, there would be a medical background check and that type of thing. So it says insurers can charge more or deny coverage based on health history. So if they may qualify, they may pass, but if they look back at the health history and see something they don't like, they could charge whatever they want, basically. So Medicare Advantage plans. This is Plan 2. So Medicare Supplement was Plan 1. Medicare Advantage plans are Plan 2. So this is option number 2. It says, unlike original Medicare, a Medicare Advantage plan is funded by individual policies offered through private insurance companies. And this is kind of the if you look on the right side of the screen, this is kind of what it entails. It includes dental, vision, and hearing. It has an annual max out of pocket, value-based care model, and then transportation benefits. This requires use of a network of doctors and hospitals. I didn't touch on that with Medicare supplements, but Medicare supplements, there are no networks. You can go anywhere you want to go, any doctor you want to see, anywhere in the country, and you will be covered with a Medicare supplement. Medicare Advantage is not that way. They have a network of doctors that you'll need to, when you enroll into a Medicare Advantage plan, make sure that your doctors are going to be covered under whatever that plan is. And then as far as choosing which plan to go with. So the very bottom says max out of pocket for Medicare Advantage in network in 2026 is $9,250. So that's the max that someone would have to pay out of pocket with their Medicare Advantage plan. Now, this kind of compares the two. And some people are going to hear Medicare supplement and love it. And then some people are going to hear Medicare Advantage and love it. And these are not, we don't adhere to either one. We just want to give you the facts, and then you make the decision based off your needs and what would be better suited for you. So here's just a comparison. Monthly premiums with a Medicare supplement plan, yes, they have monthly premiums. Medicare Advantage plans have low premiums, if any. A lot of times they are $0. Includes Part D and dental and vision. Remember, Part D is your prescription drug plan. Medicare supplements do not include that. You have to get that separately outside of your Medicare supplement. And then Medicare Advantage plans, a lot of times these do. They have Part D and dental and vision. Matter of fact, most of the time. And then copays to providers. So when you go to the doctor, are you going to have to pay a copay? If you have a Medicare supplement, no, you are not. You have no copays to anybody for anything. It doesn't matter if you have a surgery. As long as you've met that Part B deductible, you don't have any copays. And then Medicare Advantage plan, yes, there are copays. Everywhere you go is going to have a copay. Up to $9,250 out of pocket cost. If you have a Medicare supplement, no, you will not have that. You will not have a $9,250 out-of-pocket cost. With a Medicare Advantage plan, you will. Restricted to network of doctors and hospitals. We just discussed this. Medicare supplements does not matter. Doesn't matter who you go to, you will be covered. Medicare Advantage plans, yes, there are a network of doctors and hospitals that you would have to see within that Medicare Advantage plan. Can I appeal coverage decisions to Medicare? Yes, both of these you can appeal. If they, you think that it should be covered, you can appeal to them. Can my plan drop my doctor? Medicare supplements? No, cannot, because there's no networks. Medicare Advantage plans? Yes, they can drop your doctor. Can my plan be terminated? Same thing. Medicare supplements? No, they cannot terminate your plan. Medicare Advantage plan? Yes, they can. And then the last one, use any Medicare doctor hospital nationwide. Medicare supplement? Yes, you can use anywhere. Medicare Advantage plans? No, you cannot use just anybody anywhere. So those networks are important. All right, important dates. This is for Medicare Advantage. Medicare Advantage plans for October 15th through December 7th. This is called the annual election period, the AEP. This is where you make changes to Medicare Advantage and Part D plans for the next calendar year. Changes take effect January 1. Now, by then, obviously, all the changes for 2027 will be out. We'll go through those with you, and I'm sure we'll be live every week also to discuss those things. We already know several. So if you want to talk about those now, please give us a call or come by the office, because some are very important. So the next one is your OEP, which is your open enrollment period, which is January 1 through March 31st of 2027. If you enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan during AEP, you can switch plans to return to original Medicare once during this window. So say you come in, you enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan, you decide, well, you know what, I need probably something different. It's maybe the doctors or something's not covered that you need covered in that plan. When January 1st rolls around, you can change that. You can switch without any kind of penalties or anything like that. So, and then ongoing, it says generally available only for qualifying life events, moving out of your plan's service area, losing other coverage. And then a big one is you qualifying for Medicaid. So we just had someone that they were on Medicaid. Their Medicare Advantage plan was catered to that. And then she was actually approved for a more extensive Medicaid. And then she was able to change at that point her Medicare Advantage plan to suit the new Medicaid that she had. So that's a very common one that we see. And then choosing what's right for you. Do you travel? If you travel at all, as far as you like to go and go on vacation, and maybe you have family somewhere and you go somewhere a lot, a Medicare supplement usually is going to be your best option if that's the case, because Medicare Advantage plans are plan specific for that area. Is the budget low? Do you need to save as much money as possible as far as monthly? Probably Medicare Advantage would be better for you, because generally speaking, you can get one for $0. You just don't know what's going to happen on the back end. So, do you have specific doctors you want to keep? If that's the case, definitely Medicare supplement, but unless, Medicare Advantage may not have those doctors on their list. So, do you want dental, vision, hearing bundled? Can't do that with Medicare supplement as far as in with it. Yes, you can get dental and vision and hearing separately, but as far as bundled with it, Medicare Advantage would be the way to go there. And then, do you want maximum cost predictability? Yes, for Medicare supplement, no for Medicare Advantage. Basically, if Medicare supplements, you can pay on the front end and nothing on the back end. Medicare Advantage, you're paying very little on the front end and paying who knows on the back end, if nothing ever happens to you, then paying very little. But we just don't know that. Nobody knows. Nobody has plans to have to be in the hospital, and nobody has plans to get some type of life changing disease or what. But there is a way to budget with Medicare supplement because you know what you're going to pay. You know that you got a premium, and that's what you're paying every month, and that's all you're going to have to pay. Other than that small deductible, that's Part B deductible. Medicare Advantage, you don't. If something happens, you have no idea what you're going to end up paying. So that's why you choose what's best for you. We don't mind which one you go with. It's just everybody's different, and we want to give you the most information as possible about both of those, and that way you can choose the best one that's right for you. So, prescription drug coverage, Medicare Part D, what you need to know. Part D is an optional prescription drug benefit program intended to help Medicare beneficiaries reduce out-of-pocket drug costs. It is federally enacted program administered by private insurance companies. If you delay Part D, this is the biggest thing. Part D is not expensive. A lot of them are $0, but there is a penalty if you do not have a drug plan. If you go for years after you're 65 or after Medicare started or whatever your situation is, and you decide, oh, I don't need that. Well, if you do that, and one day you decide to get a Part D, that will be red flagged, and you will be charged a penalty, which we talked about in the last video. But you'll be charged a penalty for that, not having that prescription drug plan, and that penalty never goes away. You'll pay that for the rest of your life. So that's important to understand, that you've got to have a drug plan. And then finally, Part D plans are required by federal law to offer the basic benefits defined by Medicare. So, prescription drug coverage, 2026 cost structure. I'm sure this will change a little bit for 2027, but for now, phase one, zero to $615 for phase one. Phase two, initial coverage, $615 to $2,100, and then phase three, catastrophic coverage is after $2,100. The first, as far as deductible, you pay 100% of the drug costs up to the deductible. Many plans have $0 deductibles, and a lot of this depends on what type of drugs you're on, what type of medicines you take. So you'll actually pick the best drug plan based off your medicines. We usually do that in Medicare.gov, just to know that, hey, we're going to put all your medicines in. It's going to show us what drug plans are available. It's going to show us what your cost is going to be per month and what you're probably going to pay out of pocket as far as your deductible for those. Sometimes it's $0. So it's all very, very plan specific and personal, just based off you and what you take and your situation that you're in. So kind of got some stuff at the bottom. Insulin's capped. Vaccines remain free. And then Medicare's prescription payment plan, spread costs monthly. So let's move on. Here's some other resources that are good. If you don't have a Medicare.gov account, we try to help you make one here. If you have your Medicare with us, we'll try to do that for you, to where you have access and you can see in Medicare.gov exactly what type of plan you have, whether it's Medicare Advantage or Medicare Supplement. It tells you what drug plan you have. So it's really helpful as far as your Medicare goes. And then here's some other things. Medicare and You, it's a handbook. Choosing a Medigap policy, that's a guide. So, and then there's a counseling program also. So, what else you should consider? Medicare drug coverage. It's got a list of things as far as the cost sharing and cap, out of pockets and that kind of thing. Additionally, consider, this is what you need to really think about as you get ready to embark on the Medicare journey, is whether you should get a supplement or Medicare Advantage plan. For one, that's the top thing. But after that, what else should you consider having? Cancer, heart attack, stroke plans. Those drugs that a Medicare Advantage plan the drug coverage you had there and your prescription drug plan may not cover all of the cancer drugs that are needed. So a cancer policy may be the best thing for you. Heart attack and stroke, if heart attack and stroke runs in your family, it might be a good idea to consider a heart attack or stroke plan. So, dental, vision, and hearing plans, a lot of times they're covered in Medicare Advantage, but they're not with a Medicare supplement. So obviously, everybody at some point is going to need some dental done. Most people have to wear glasses, that kind of thing. So obviously that's something else to consider. Long-term care and home health care. These are important because everybody's getting older, and if you don't have something in place, guess who pays those? You do, out of pocket. So, a lot of times you could pay a very small amount per month and cover you thousands and thousands of dollars of long-term care that at some point you're probably going to need. So, and then life insurance policies to cover your families. Remember, that's not for you. That's for your families to make sure they are well taken care of. And then lastly, retirement planning. Where is your financial situation in the best place possible to succeed and live as stress-free as possible as you go into the later years of your life. So those are just some more things to consider. We have other videos and would be happy to talk you through some of those. So, and that, as far as Medicare Made Simple, Medicare 101, that is the end of this slideshow. I'm sure we'll be back next week with something different. But if you ever want to talk and have questions, and we love the education side. So if you have any questions and just want to talk through your situation, or maybe you're unsure of a specific thing, call us. Just call us. Or send an email to us. There's a link in our website there that you could ask questions and comment and that kind of thing.